So we recently had a state of the game for the Division 2, and as always I'm going to be telling you guys the most important things from it and explaining whether I think it's a good idea or not, like what they're doing with the game. So the first thing that a lot of you are probably going to disagree with most of this, but the first thing, they're bringing in a Shepard call for help system that has 99 levels apparently. Basically you request a backup, like someone comes in to help you out. And I've heard a lot of people mentioning that there's been griefing going on with that. But how this system's supposed to work is someone requests a backup, someone accepts the call, they go in, they help, and then if you want to, you can endorse the player that's come and helped you, and they basically go up in Shepard XP, and you unlock a couple of commendations like arm patches and stuff like that. I think it's a complete waste of time. People on this game do not answer calls for backup. You'll have a couple of people rarely that will, but then I've heard there's loads of griefing going on with it, so... But yeah, I just think it's a complete waste of time. We then have the Discovery Raid difficulty. A lot of people are questioning what is the point of this. They've said, and I've said in a couple of videos, they are doing this so that you can practice the mechanics, you can matchmake and find a team. You cannot earn the Raid exclusive gear sets, Aces and Eights and the other two. You cannot get the exotic Eagle Bearer, which I think is the reason the majority of people will actually play the Raid. So the best stuff of the Raid has been taken out. They've added in matchmaking, which people have been asking for ages. They should have just forgot about Discovery Mode, because people never asked for it. We wanted a different difficulty, in other words, maybe drop the percentage of getting, like, your chance of getting the Eagle Bearer, but just make the Raid a little bit easier. But instead they've made it easier. They've completely removed the Eagle Bearer from that loophole, and they say it's exclusive to the Raid, so it shouldn't matter what difficulty you're doing, it should still be able to drop. And I saw a lot of people in the chat saying hashtag free the bearer or free the Eagle, but personally, I think the Eagle should be freed. We should all be able to use it. We've bought a game, and this is like from PvE content, you get this gun, and a lot of players can't get it. Like, a lot of people are even asking if they can reduce the amount of keys needed to open the chest at the end of the raid. There are 4 bosses, but you need 5 keys to open the chest. So you can only open that chest once, well, for the first ever time you open that chest, you're going to have to wait until the weekly reset. There is physically no way of opening it on your first ever week. Moving on, because the Raid is something that annoys me on this game, I think they've messed up from the start. We have the new Apparel Event. There's not been much information given out about this. I can't remember state of the game from last week. The only thing I do remember is closing it down early, so they could have spoken about it. But this week, they didn't show us anything to do with it. They just said that it's going to be starting, I think it's on Tuesday the 23rd, when Episode 1 comes out for Year 1 pass owners. But I'm looking forward to that. I've been involved with the other 2. I've opened every single crate. I'm hoping there's 30 or 40 items. If there's 50, I'm not interested. I'm not putting in a massive grind to get all of this stuff. Unless it's cool. I mean, if it's actually really good looking stuff, then I might be interested. But I highly doubt it is. Then they spoke about the social space over by the helicopter to the left hand side as you walk out of the base of operations or the White House. That's now been changed around. You've got the crafting station there, you've got the recalibration station. There was talk of optimization for the optimization station, but then Hamish just completely dismissed it. Didn't say anything about it, just mentioned optimization. Personally, I don't see the point of having this. You can do all of that stuff inside the White House, so this is just wasting time. They could have been working on fixing bugs, but instead they've done all this outside, so that, oh, you can see someone. Like, you can see other players when you're standing underneath the helicopter. But so what? Like, not really interested in that at all. I would much rather just go back inside the White House, sort all my stuff out there. You can still do that, but I think it's pointless taking it outside. So that's everything they've really mentioned. Now I want to go through a little list of things I picked up from the chat that the developers are not listening to. To start off, the RNG. They are going down the same path as Anthem, because they are not doing anything to the RNG or the loot, which is the biggest downfall of the game right now. I've said it before, you have like a 0.0045% chance of getting a god roll on an item. When you are playing this game and you're playing PvE, you want to have the best stuff to take down the enemies as fast as possible, get nice gear, look cool, all that stuff. But because the loot chance is so low of getting good things, it takes you weeks and weeks to make the slightest improvements to your build. I think they should have completely separated PvE and PvP to the point where PvE, you could be as overpowered as you want because it's PvE. You're not doing harm to any other player, you are playing the game for fun. PvP, they should have put in different modifiers and stuff to the things from PvE, like they already do, But as I said, they should have made it so PvE is a lot of fun. Like, you can literally just go into a mission, you can shotgun enemies one tap, even elites, because that's what people want to do. They want to play a game, they want to feel strong, overpowered. Like in Division 1, again, I'm referencing that. I've done that a few times now, because I played Division 1 probably a month or so back, and you just feel 20 times more powerful than you do in Division 2. There's no depth to how you feel in Division 2. It's literally just, oh, I got the P416. Oh, I got this chest with 12% weapon damage. That is it. Whereas you get striker gear sets on Division 1, and you're like, oh, fuck me, like, this actually makes a difference. I feel a lot stronger. But they haven't mentioned the RNG. They haven't mentioned the loot or anything like that. I think they did mention it a few weeks ago, but they said they're going to be fixing it in the future, which is pretty much the same thing Anthem did. Just shrug it off all the time, and look how Anthem's going now. I mean, the PTS for the Cataclysm, I think, has been going for like 6 weeks, and they're still adding more stuff to it. So I honestly think they just need to sort out the RNG, make it fun for players that want to have overpowered builds, like cool stuff to use. PvE isn't there to be competitive in such a way as PvP is. Obviously, there's leaderboards for fastest completion times of missions and things, but I mean, people just want to have fun when they play the game. Then we have the actual raid. People have been complaining, like I've spoken a little bit about this before, but people have been complaining since the launch to add matchmaking, and they just haven't bothered. Discovery mode, like, difficulty is getting matchmaking, but that doesn't help the people playing the actual raid. Yes, you can find a group and stuff through Discovery mode, and they say it's been added in to get people used to the mechanics and finding a group and stuff, but you play Discovery mode, it's piss easy, you go through the enemies really quick, you go into the normal raid, and you're back to square one. You've learned about the mechanics, but you haven't learned how much damage you need to deal to each enemy, and how to survive when you're being shot in certain situations and stuff. Then we have the leaderboards. Apparently there's people glitching the leaderboards, and Massive haven't done anything to solve it, so that's just exactly how it was before. Aces and Eights, one of the the raid exclusive gear sets, isn't working properly. The bonuses don't set or whatever. Audio bugs, this has plagued the game since the launch, and they still haven't fixed all of them in the game, which is really annoying to hear. Classified assignments, this one isn't from State of the Game. We do have 2 new classified assignments coming in next week with Title Update 5/Episode 1, but I've received a lot of comments now, people complaining that they can't do anything within the classified assignments. They own the Year 1 pass, they've tried entering the building or whatever to do the classified assignment, and it doesn't work. I mean, at the end of the day, you're only getting a backpack trophy and a few collectibles, but there's backstory behind it. Not only that, people have paid to play this content, and the developers have not mentioned it at all. Then we have PvP, which should be the thing keeping this game going, because when a game comes out that's mixed PvE and PvP, PvE lasts for a week or 2 until there's nothing left to do until future updates, so everyone should be converting to PvP, to have fun, to carry on getting gear, to keep playing the game until they release new stuff. But PvP is so dead because of the broken meta, and there's loads of different stuff happening in there. Well, I mean, it would be happening if people were actually playing it, but there's so many different things wrong with it that people can't be bothered to play, and people want it fixed so that they can enjoy it, and the developers again are just shrugging it off. They did say to a couple of people in the chat they're not mentioning things until after Title Update 5 comes out, but they said, like Hamish said, that they're going to be talking about Title Update 6 that they're already working on, and they don't know what bugs are going to be coming into TU5, so I don't understand their logic, what they're trying to do, but it just seems it's going to go tits up. And knowing them, there will be a lot of bugs they need to fix. There's no maintenance tomorrow. There's supposed to be a maintenance every Thursday, or they normally do a maintenance every Thursday. None of that tomorrow because they're releasing TU5 next Tuesday. So we're going to have, I think the weekly reset's still going ahead. So tomorrow is going to reset. Tuesday the update will come out. For the Year 1 pass owners, you'll get Episode 1. For everyone else, Title Update 5. Then State of the Game next Wednesday to talk about some of the things happening within Title Update 5 and Episode 1. Then Thursday you'll have the weekly maintenance as normal, if it goes ahead like this, but this is normally the schedule. And then it just carries on like that. Every Wednesday, State of the Game, and then every Thursday maintenance, and we're just going to have to see how it goes. But that's going to do it for this video. I will be playing Division 2 on the 23rd. I don't know if I'm going to do the raid. I've said to a few people that I might do it. If I am going to, it will be Discovery mode because I can't be bothered to try the normal thing ever again, regardless if I find an amazing team or not. It pushed my team to the point where there were arguments all the time, and everyone just eventually gave up. I do not want to go through that shit again. I do not expect anyone to go through that shit again. So if I'm doing the raid next Tuesday, it will be Discovery Mode difficulty, because I don't care about the Eagle Bearer anymore. I don't care about the gear sets, I've heard they're terrible anyway. So I would literally just be doing it for the satisfaction of having it completed regardless of difficulty. But I might try out the other missions and the expedition and stuff like that. We'll just have to see how it goes, because I could get 20 minutes into a recording next week, find a game breaking bug or find a couple of bugs that annoy me, and that be end of. But we'll see how it goes. That's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know all your thoughts and stuff in the comments. Thank you for watching.